Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? This is Hassan with the Ramen Room, and I got my boy Randall.
What's going on?
Man, we got a tight show, don't we?
Yeah, it's a packed room today.
It's a packed room. Yeah. We're gonna bring you guys in here in a bit. I'd like to thank everybody who's listening today, whatever day this is for you. It's very appreciated. But without further ado, no, I'm not a rapper. Oh, that rhymed, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got bars.
Man, Ramen Room is expanding. It's a beautiful thing. I want to introduce you guys to a good friend of mine, Omar.
What's good? What's going on? My name's Omar. Happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem, man. Hey, Omar, what do you like? What do you like? Like technology?
I like technology. I like new toys, all that good stuff. Comic books, video games, all that good stuff.
Okay, I got some. That's what I'm talking about. See, we're trying to expand, guys. We're trying to make sure you guys are getting the stuff that you need. That way you're fed well. And I know Thanksgiving is over, but we're always trying to give some stuff out to people. We want to feed you guys. So keep that in mind. We got somebody else for you guys. Now, you may see him on the page on Facebook. He's just dropping little links here and there. Real mysterious cat, you know. Behind the scenes. I mean, you wonder how this happens. This is how it happens. We bring him in and people want to hear about it, you know, who he is, stuff like that. So without further ado, another good friend of mine, Benny.
How's it going, everybody?
What'd you do? What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are doing good. No, right? Benny, talk about yourself, man. Like, what's going on?
I'm into a lot of stuff you guys are in. Anime, video games. Put a lot of time in Final Fantasy right now. And tech
Preach.
stuff.
Yeah. What are you watching right now?
Right now, I just finished Westworld. I have to say,
Oh, Westworld. The last episode. Yes. It's definitely it.
You don't watch it,
I
Randall?
haven't watched it yet. I need.
I need you to exit.
I'm out of guys. I'll see you.
Because they're going to be tons of spoilers.
Westworld is ridiculous. Probably one of the best shows on TV so far this year, really. Sad that the season's over.
Come on now. It's 10 episodes.
Yeah, HBO need to bump up that.
Nah, 10 episodes is just about right.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I need 15, man.
But they're hour episodes.
You're right.
You don't want to stretch your story. Whatever it is, you don't want it to be.
No, you don't want to overdo it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they should put in some commercials so I can always like.
Nope. Like I have Hulu with no commercials.
Nobody wants commercials, guys.
You guys said new Geico, man.
It's amazing. It's very, very funny. But I think we should. I think one of these days we should talk about Westworld and shows like it, like Game of Thrones. Add a little piece in it.
Shows that you watch.
Yeah, shows that you watch. More to come with that, guys. Write that down, Randall. That's nice.
I got it. I'll binge watch ahead of time too.
All right. Let's just write down the theme. Shows that you watch.
All right.
Yeah, that's nice. Randall, lead us off. What did we talk about today?
The first thing we're talking about, we had the Game Awards this past weekend. You gentlemen said you checked it out. What were your thoughts just in general of what you saw, your opinions of the show? Just to kick off, I watched it, and the thing that struck me was a little weird. Just was Jeff Keighley and his tribute to Hideo Kojima, which I appreciate what he was doing, you know, what he went through, but it just was a bit much for me. Like, act like this dude went through war, got fought off cancer. I mean, he lost his job, which is sad, but I mean,
you didn't hear about the war of Konami in 2016 war of Konami.
It laid it on a little thick for my taste, but I mean, other than that, I think he does a good job putting the show on. I don't know what you guys think.
I like the Nintendo thing that they showed for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that was good.
It was real good. I'm excited about that game. There again, Nintendo fan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Nintendo has some stuff coming out that I've noticed. They're stepping their game up a little bit, especially after the whole.
They are.
that cash influx from Pokemon investment.
Yes,
so they starting to put out some little bit better content. They're trying to get back in that console game. So that says a lot. Because I remember who didn't grow up with a Nintendo. Who didn't grow up with a Nintendo? Everybody had a Nintendo or a Game Boy or Tetris or anything like that. Play all them, man. Used to be the business. GameCube. And
you still play that?
What else?
Yeah. If you didn't grow up with one, they have the Nintendo system out right now. That little mini one.
I'm trying to find that. It's impossible to find.
Was it the classic? Or was it called?
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
If you
30
grew up with
games
it, you
on
can
it?
still get it. 2016.
Hold on, and it do HDMI. I get high definition. I can see all the pixels.
All 16 of them, guys. That's crazy.
I didn't know Mario had buttons. HD is right.
Yeah, I'm excited about that, man. I'm excited about what they're doing with that. Also, they got a game coming out, the Mario Run.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be on iPhone, so check that out December 15th. Other than that, what about you, Omar? How do you feel about the Game Awards?
It was actually pretty good awards overall.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't play a whole lot of PlayStation. I do more Xbox.
Yeah.
I haven't played a PlayStation since 2.
Finally, I got some backup here.
I haven't played PlayStation since PlayStation 2. And the only reason for that is when I got my Xbox, you can mod an Xbox.
Yes.
You can put all your games on the Xbox.
Yes.
So once that happened, because at the time, the girlfriend wouldn't have it. I couldn't drop money on games like that. So I went
chasing down those solderless modding chips in the usual places.
Right. It's like in a dark alley. This ain't a chip. Why are your pants now? Wait a minute.
Say the chip.
But I've been Xbox since then. Since the one with the gigantic controller, the 360.
Uncomfortable, yes.
Yes.
Very.
Yeah, okay, real quick, as an aside, last week we had a brief detour in a conversation about controller quality. What's the best controller that there's ever been? What system?
I said Dreamcast. I'm going to stick to that.
I was saying that the 360 controller. Other than the D-pad, it's the only thing that really keeps it from...
it's part of the
That
controller.
feel
You can't
is good.
other than anything.
So I have big hands.
Right.
So my thought is the Dreamcast would be number one,
Mhm.
Nintendo 64 at the other, because if you're left
You
or
like
right-handed,
Yeah, that's
you're
true.
left or
That's true.
right-handed.
That's true.
So
That's
therefore, because like I know my cousins were left-handed, so
Yeah.
when they play, they would have to worry about switching everything.
Right.
So no,
Right.
if you could do it either way, so
Yeah.
that's why I like the Nintendo
Yeah.
64.
Yeah, you ain't going wrong about that. Benny, what do you think?
Me, PlayStation 2. It was a solid.
PlayStation 2, that was a good choice. We were talking
It's
about
just like the PlayStation 1 controller DualShock Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
See, so you all team PlayStation.
I-
See, that's the thing.
Every answer.
Horrible.
So
Nah,
did
it's
you-
a good controller.
Did you see with Game? Did you see the trailer for Death Stranding? The
I
new
did.
Kojima. What do you think of that? Because my thing, one question I had was how will what we've seen in the trailers translate to actual gameplay? Like, is that just going to be an aesthetic or a conceit of the game? Because it looks like this is the second time we've seen people connected to other people by those cords. Will that turn into squad mechanics, or is that just kind of the general story or atmosphere of the game?
Well, I saw this is what I saw, because you saw a different trailer than I did, obviously, because I saw a baby in a fat man's arms
Yeah,
running from what looked like the cops. It could have been the army
yeah. But did you talk about?
Same
Did you
thing.
see the end with I think what
with the
Mads-
skeleton and
Well, no, Mads Mikkelsen, the guy.
Yeah.
He had his soldiers with him, and
yeah,
had
they were
those cords
skeletons.
coming off him.
They were skeletons.
Well, when they first appeared, they had the
Yeah.
uniform on and everything. So I wonder, is that
That
indicative
part-
of gameplay, or is that just window dressing?
I don't
So,
know.
like a lot of the games that you see coming out now, they're getting closer and closer to those gameplay trailers,
Right.
Or not even gameplay, just the preview trailers, because of the way technology has advanced substantially as opposed to the way it has in the past. A perfect example of that would be like the Tomb Raider. When you look at the new Tomb Raider that's on Xbox, it looks very close to the trailer because of the advancements that have taken place over time.
Right.
So the question is, would they actually put that into the game? Because if they do, it'll be nice. But other than that,
Yeah, that's my
it's
question.
hit or miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I didn't think it was going to be like an army base. Like, it looks like the soldiers when they came out remind me of Metal Gear.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same thought I
Outside
had.
more, supernatural. But I thought Kojima's game was probably going to be completely opposite of like what Metal Gear was. But it looks like it's still going to have some of the same elements.
Yeah, I think it's probably just in his style of designing games now. It's just going to be very reminiscent of Metal
Because
Gear.
of he's known for Metal Gear. So since he's known for Metal Gear,
Right,
everything
like-
else, when you think of him, you're going to think back of Metal Gear.
Right. This would probably just be the kind of Metal Gear game he wanted to make without Konami.
Right.
I mean, both trailers. The one he had for the for E3, and then this one, they look like they're not related at all. I mean, I don't know what kind of game this is going to be. Yeah. I don't know what kind of gameplay I'm going to get out of it. I would say we would have to either wait until this coming E3 to get an idea. It seemed like it. I do see the Metal Gear. I do see that in the game. Only because I don't know if it's just like Hideo Kojima thing, but I mean, hopefully when they do show gameplay and you do get a little bit of what you're going to be doing in this game, just out of gameplay videos. I mean, I know it's going to be fun, and hopefully it is slightly a departure from Metal Gear. I mean, obviously, don't nobody want to play another Metal Gear,
right?
Especially when you're given the opportunity to create something new and fresh.
It needs old.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm not with Konami anymore, guys, but I'm about to make another Metal Gear. It's like, no.
That's just like other games. That's just like when you get to like Assassin's Creed.
Right.
Certain ones are good. So like Brotherhood was good, but you can get 2 after that. I think the last one was Syndicate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of the one before that.
Unity.
Unity sucked.
The one in France.
It was bugged.
It sucked because I mean, even though they added the whole online gaming, the game itself sucked.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm like, okay, I don't want to play a game where I'm climbing the wall and I'm in the wall and I'm stuck in the wall.
Yeah,
that was the worst.
Yeah,
but when you get to certain games like that, when you have that same designer over and over again, I already know what to expect when it comes to certain aspects of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there are aspects that were in the earlier versions that you wanted in the later ones that they took away. So, like, the one thing I really liked about the earlier versions of that game in particular is that you can recruit other assassins, and then when you get to a certain point, you can call them to come help you in battle. So you can actually have them do the work for you as opposed to you having to do all the work. And when they got rid of that in the new ones, I'm like, oh, that sucks.
I think to the Assassin's Creed piece, I think they moved to a 2-year release schedule.
Movie this year, so.
Well, I mean, I think just in general they're doing it.
I think it's a smart idea to do it because
if they do it
getting stale. As
every
you
year,
talked about with the problems with Unity, it's just like I played a little bit too. Black Flag I really enjoyed, but it's a series that you can come in, pick one up, and then leave for a year or two, and come back. Right. It's not going to change that much, and you're better off for getting that time away.
So what they did with that, they had the Black Flag, then they had the
they had 3, the Native American.
No, they had the. It was 3, then Black Flag, and then there was the DLC for that, the one where you were the slave.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, that was on PSP, wasn't it?
No, that was on 1.
Yeah,
and,
there was DLC because one of the characters in Black Flag had DLC, but there was also Assassin's Creed Liberation. That was a PSP that was also ported over, I think.
Yep.
Is it PSP or V?
No, I think that one was.
I don't know.
But I know
it was a PlayStation handheld.
I was really happy. Like, there's a black guy there. I'm there.
Oh, he was legit.
Yeah,
but that's the same thing with like Unity. So Unity was out for what, like 5 or 6 months. That they came up with the Dead Kings expansion to try to fix all the bugs that were in the first one. Mm-hmm. But it still wasn't that good of a game. Syndicate came out; it was a lot better.
Yeah,
I wish it would have had the online portion, but it didn't. Right. That would have been really neat if they had it, but they just didn't.
I like the setting of Syndicate, the kind of industrial revolutionary England. Mm-hmm. It was a shame it came on the heels of Unity, and people were kind of like done with the series at that point in time.
Right, and I figured they're not going to refresh at least till sometime next year.
As an aside, where would you want to see them go?
Actually, we'll see China.
China, yeah. A lot of people said
I want to see China
or Japan. One of those kind of.
We definitely want to see that. I do want to see South America as well.
Oh, that'd be good.
South America would be good because you have a lot of forests. You have a lot of the Mayan Empire. So like when they did the Native American one, I could actually see that in like a South America.
Yeah,
that would be really nice.
That would be fantastic.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Because you have so much, it's just massive landscapes. That's one thing I like about the game. It's a huge game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they've had. I remember when Assassin's Creed 1 came out, and it was like, it was kind of like a small map. Mm-hmm. But now, like you said, it's used. They've definitely learned from their mistakes. They've expanded on it, and it became like a Hallmark type game. Like it's really like a AAA game for real.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But people can get burnt out on it every year. So
I didn't pick it up till the second one. And then from the second one, I'm like, all right, this is cool. I went back and got the first one. I'm like, oh, shit, I can't go back no more. I got to go forward. Just forward. Never go back.
Can't play with Ezio and drop off.
I used to that second one. I'm like, yeah, they took it away in the first one. I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't want that.
What else popped off at the Game Awards, man? What's going on?
I'm trying to think what else really stood out to me. Outside of, we were talking earlier about some of the, I guess, more curious award winners.
I was shocked with the RPG Game of the Year. I don't know if y'all saw it, but Witcher 3 won with their DLC for Blood and Wine.
Good for them.
So here's the thing. You're going by the actual game, right? So when you think of a game, you think of something that has the advertising behind it, that has the entire, the push for it.
Mm-hmm.
And a DLC doesn't necessarily count for that because
Right.
you can't necessarily go buy a disc. You can only download it pretty much or go buy the card and get the download for
Right.
it. So technically speaking, to me, that's more of an expansion pack. So that's just like when you think of like StarCraft and you think of the expansions for that.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't get an expansion they don't get an award for that expansion. You get an award for the game itself.
Right.
Right.
So how can an expansion win an award for a game that's not really a game?
Because fanboys love the game so much, they would have crucified the Game Awards if they hadn't done
Yeah,
it.
I'm sure they would have.
No, here's the thing. Can you play it by itself?
No, you need
My point. Then
Witcher 3.
If you can't play it by yourself,
Exactly.
then you
Yeah,
should
I
not,
agree.
then you should not be able to win an award for
Yeah.
with it.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be like for like the prime example, the DLC for Assassin's Creed with the slave liberation. You don't have the original game, you can't play it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then how will you win an award for something that you can't play standalone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was a full spin-off, kind of like it was a weird example, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which was it was a spin-off kind of a Far Cry, but it's its own separate game.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need one to play it. I could see that. You said if it's its own standalone on its own merits, but being essentially just a mission of a game, basically winning RPG of the year, is a little curious to me.
Plus, there's a lot of good RPGs out. Dark Souls 3 dropped.
Mm-hmm.
DSX Mankind Revolution was RPG.
It sure was.
And XCOM did get no love there. So.
And what's it called? Came out for the Wii U. The Fire Emblem Persona crossover.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, and that was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really. I mean, of course, it was more niche than
Yeah.
anything
But I'm
else.
surprised
The
even if
mechanics
it
were
being
good.
that
How many
that
copies did it
interesting.
sell? That's the question.
Yeah,
Sell
that's-
7 copies.
More likely.
7.
I mean, I did.
2 of the 7.
Come on, come now, guys. I mean, the Wii U sold what 12 million consoles, right? I mean, even if they sold like 250,000, it's not a bad attachment rate. I mean, in a sense, for a game like that, you know what I mean? But I mean, are we going to like give an award out because of how much it sold, or are we going to give it out because of what it's actually doing for for that genre in general? Because the battle system was amazing.
Yeah.
The storytelling was like, okay, I can't stand this singing, like, not all the time.
Yeah.
Singing. That's the whole point.
There's a lot of, I mean, they got a lot of grown men sitting there hearing how much, But I mean, I like Japanese music too, so it's not a big deal. But I think that should have at least.
Well,
been
I guess to wrap up the discussion about the video game awards, considering we have some issue with at least one of the winners. Do you think that the award show itself is necessary, or do you think it's good? On the one hand, I like that we get trailers and we get sneak peeks, but I mean, as far as actual awards go, they're kind of.
I feel like it's getting better compared to the previous years. I don't know if it's needed, but overall, like just the quality from the beginning is starting to show. And the host, even though he was a little bit on Kojima, I feel like he's a very likable guy. And most of the time he hosts, it kind of shows through. One award I did like is I like that they shout out to the YouTube gamers, the people who did YouTube. So they had Angry Joe, if you watch his reviews. And some people I didn't know, maybe I'll check out their channels, but they had some good.
hopefully next year they'll have the ramen room on the. I mean, we don't do reviews, guys, but I mean, come on. I mean,
We can do reviews. Send me stuff. I'll review it.
yeah, I need an early copy. Give me an early copy of Cyberpunk 2077.
Send me that Zelda. I'll let you know right away.
Look. Just send me the
Switch
DLC.
too.
Just send me the DLC. That's all I need.
The game? I don't
No,
need
what
that.
they should do is they should come up with a category for best DLC.
Yeah, that would be.
And you can do it per genre. So
Right.
best action DLC, best RPG DLC. So that way you still have the people who have just that DLC for
Right.
certain genres. That would make sense.
Right, because from what I understand, Blood and Wine is substantial content added to the game, but it is just DLC.
Right.
Well, let's keep in mind if they do that, don't be surprised if one year the best DLC goes to Call of Duty Map Pack. You'd be like, oh,
Okay, would that be would that be entirely unfair though? If they look
Because
at
the
it,
map pack isn't necessarily. I mean, it doesn't give you. It just gives you It doesn't add anything to the core of the game. So if it adds something to multiplayer, that's
I'll say
different.
if it adds multiplayer, because I mean,
If it's a multiplayer game, they have to have something that's specifically for multiplayer.
Right.
So
If it's a new
multiplayer
game
DLC,
mode, I could see that if they add. Because honestly, like let's say this was in an alternate reality in zombies.
Okay.
Like for when they first added the Call of Duty Black Ops,
Right.
if that was something I could see winning a DLC of the year type category because it changed the kind of gameplay. Yeah, and it was substantial. More than just different
People
maps.
still play it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
cool. What else you got for us, Brandon? What else we got? I mean,
up next, I know you're excited.
Yeah,
chomping at the bit. We got PSX.
Okay,
2016.
Well, before we go into PSX, I mean, if you guys got any ideas on what we should, what you'll come to expect out of the next Video Game Awards, let us know. Where can they let us know at?
The Ramen Room at gmail.com.
Can you say it again? I don't think they heard you.
The Ramen Room at gmail.com.
Okay, I think they heard you now. Thank you so much, Brandon. Going into the PSX 2016.
You've been waiting since the weekend for this.
I did. I had to read the cliff notes because I forgot it came on. But and I didn't get invited neither. But that's besides the point. But anyway, guys, Last of Us 2. Looks how you guys feel about that?
I didn't expect it. I was actually shocked to see it in the lineup.
Yeah, I'm kind of of both minds about it in the sense that I wouldn't expect it because it's Naughty Dog and they seem like the kind of company just to move on to something new. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's The Last of Us, and that was a highly lauded game, so I'm not that surprised that they're going to continue to go back to that well again. It is an intriguing setup. I'm not as familiar with The Last of Us, so I can't speak to whether or not everyone said that the last ending seemed to wrap things up very well. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if a sequel's really warranted, but I mean, I guess someone else could speak to more if it'll seem more tacked on or organic.
There's more money to make.
Yeah.
So therefore, they're going to keep going until they pretty much beat it into the ground.
Right.
Last of Us 3.
Well, I mean, look at
it's just us.
Like there's 2 people left, but you still made a game.
It becomes like a Harvest Moon game. I'm excited about it, man. Yeah. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be it's going to be a fast seller. People are going to buy it. We already know.
It'll probably be a console mover.
The graphics look great. And you're really pushing the PS4 Pro in this sense. I mean,
graphics and everything are great. So
yeah, it looks like it'll be Ellie in this.
It's Ellie
as the main character.
Yeah, probably I guess old dude got killed, right?
No, he's in there.
He's in there, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does die. Kind of pass a torch situation, either at the end or at some point, or he just walks away.
Okay, all right, that sounds good.
It sounds good. That's all you had for.
I hope he does it because in the first game when I thought he died, I ain't gonna lie, I was pissed. Like, I wanted to turn the game off real quick. So, but I feel like the story has a lot of potential. I mean, there's a lot of questions that didn't get answered at the end of the first one. I mean, no spoilers, but I think just going forward
for the first game,
yeah.
Bruh, the game has been out for a long time. You can say a spoiler.
Oh, well, spoiler warning.
Hey, hold on, I ain't played
it. No, but I mean, just at the end, I mean, it's kind of want to know what happened with the Fireflies. I mean, before they even showed Ellie, they showed the Firefly symbol. So are they still resisting? Because they made it seem like they lost towards the end of that game. So it's going to be interesting to see how the world is with... it's still going on.
Multiplayer is going to be pretty fascinating, more than likely.
Yeah. Multiplayer is going to be amazing. Like, I love the multiplayer in the original one. Like, it should be pretty good.
Then they had Crash Bandicoot, right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, what do you think about that? Because when they first mentioned it, I thought maybe we'd get a new Crash game, which I was excited for. Mm-hmm. Remaster's fine, if I had a time or I guess I'd go back and replay it. But I don't know. Remasters doesn't excite me as much as a new game. Like when they showed Parappa the Rapper before we get off Crash, but just as an example, I thought, we're getting new entries. I was kind of excited about it, but Remaster kind of took my excitement down a little. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think they do that to see if there's any interest anymore. I mean,
it's probably to test the waters, but I don't know.
So you want them to spend money on a new Crash Bandicoot to see if you like it?
It's not my money.
You can make it, and it can be the same graphics for me. People will still buy
it. More than likely.
So
you might have Rare.
Yes, it's true.
Rare jump in there like, we want to put that on the Rare Retro program. Like, put it on Xbox. No, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I do think that
it's gonna be cool.
As you mentioned, Xbox. I do think this is a good, a pretty good way of solving their lack of backwards compatibility on PS4 by just kind of giving it a nice new release, give it an updated texture, you can purchase it. I'm assuming it's not going to be a full price game. Get your daily dose of nostalgia. They can find out if there's a market for these titles, and you can kind of go back and
Do
replay.
they give you free games on PlayStation Network?
Oh, of course, yeah. We started that. Yeah, go ahead.
When did you start it? My catalog is full of free games. Hella free games.
I mean, because when PlayStation Plus came out, they had to figure out a way to make PlayStation Plus.
But you don't get backwards compatible. Or you don't get 360 games.
Oh no, we don't.
You get no love.
Well, they have the PlayStation Now where you can.
Yeah.
It's not
you
it's
can
just
pay
streaming.
for it.
Yeah. Well,
We get it for free. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, we get it for free.
that's why nobody on the mic heard that.
You know what?
The truth gets out there.
Hey, mute his mic.
Overall, what do you think of the show, though, as far as the announcements? There were a lot of announcements for me. Gravity Rush seemed cool. I didn't play it on Vita, but I get the sense
That's
that
a
it's
fun
highly... Yeah, that people really seem to like it. There were a lot of games, especially in some of the sizzle reels, that didn't speak to me. That some of the indie games were kind of... They weren't that exciting. And I don't know what...
Yeah.
Besides Last of Us, I don't know really what I would have been looking for to really blow me away.
I was looking for Red Dead 2. I was hoping to have some
Yeah,
gameplay.
yeah, that'd have been really
That's
big.
right there.
Yeah.
You said Red Dead 2?
Yeah, Red Dead 2.
Red Dead 2, yeah. It's gonna, I don't know. That might be like an E3 thing.
Yeah. Rockstar really doesn't do E3, so I don't know if they will show up.
That's a good point. We have to wait and see, right?
Yeah.
What Grand Theft Auto are we on? 5?
We're on 5.
Yeah. 6 would be up next, but we're a few years away from that.
Yeah.
It takes them forever, but it's a huge game.
Yeah. That's the one good thing about Rockstar. They have no seemingly limits. They just spend as much as they want and take as long as they want.
They're like Blizzard.
Right. Well, think about it.
Wow.
They
How long did
are.
it take for that one game? 10 years?
Yeah.
StarCraft? Like StarCraft 2?
Yeah.
Like,
It's not a bad comparison, though. Because considering... when Grand Theft Auto 5 was one of the top-selling games 3 years after its release still, they can take all the time in the world they want. They make bank.
They keep pumping out free DLC, too. Like, you haven't to pay for any DLC for Grand Theft Auto. You get bought the game, you get everything online for free.
Meanwhile, Capcom is like, yeah, go ahead and get that season pass, man. Because you know you want to play with Akuma. You know you want to play with him, right?
You want the headband for Ryu, right? You got...
December 16th, you better want to play with him. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing free around here. My mom told me.
So overall, you like the conference. You thought it was, if you had to grade it, yeah. It was. I thought it was solid. Last of Us I thought was good. The Uncharted, DLC seemed cool. Mm-hmm. That I think was the highlight of the show for me. Outside of that, it didn't really blow me away.
Well, I'm excited. What I want for the next PSX, I think the next PSX will be better than this one, only because there's some games, there's some slotted games in there, in their reels and whatnot that they've been showing all year. Nier Automata, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
We know about these games.
Right.
We don't need to keep seeing. Just release
real
them
quick.
there.
But I think after we talked about after E3, we talked about Horizon. You weren't that high on it. You changed your tune on it. You still.
I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah.
Nothing about that game is like, oh my god, look at that. I have to. No, there's nothing about that game that's making me want to do that. However, it does look like a good game. And, I don't want to put a whole bunch of stock into a game that I haven't had a chance to play for real, even rent. But it does look good.
Yeah.
But I'm currently playing Final Fantasy 15, so if I don't finish that yet.
Yeah, I was hoping they would release some of the games they only showed at E3. I know Final Fantasy 7 won't be out anytime soon, but maybe an update.
Or Shenmue.
Shenmue 3. They had a lot of exclusive from E3 that didn't come over to here.
Yeah.
But if next year, if they don't show Shenmue 3 at this E3, let's hope it'll be at the next PSX.
Yeah.
And that goes into the last game, right? Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Yep.
Omar, how'd you feel about it?
I haven't played a side-scrolling fighter in so long. I debated on getting it. Really did.
Yeah, it's Marvel is one of those games that we all pick up, and then one of us is actually good at. I love the combos, but it's one of those things that, I look at it and I would want to pick it up, but I know I wouldn't keep up with it for that long.
No, that's like Injustice. I picked it up, played it for a hot second because it was free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so I picked it up and played it.
We're not going to do this. We're not going to sit here and talk about what's free on. No, it's cool. Xbox is cool.
So what did you think about that?
If anything else, I thought you see some of the old pictures of Ryu that they have, the younger looking Ryu. I was hoping that they would have went that direction. from past
Mhm.
Marvel vs. Capcom games.
Yeah,
Battle
like
scarred though.
2.
He's
Yeah,
battle
2 he
scarred.
looked real young.
He's
But,
like, how many how deep is he now?
I mean, it would make. I mean, I get that in their main games like Street Fighter V or whatever.
Right.
But like this is Marvel vs. So this is like a fan game.
Yeah.
If anything else, so I mean, I would say they should speak. Because Mega Man hasn't had a game since I mean, even his little brother Mighty Number 9 had a game, right? So I mean, but they still keep that fan look. So I would hope that they would do that with with Ryu or any other Street Fighter. I think they might have Darkstalkers in there and stuff like that. I think the most fascinating part of that game is the possible loss of all the mutants.
That took a lot of the excitement out of it for me. Not only just because I was a fan of Wolverine and Berserker Barrage and all that stuff, but just because when you know that going in that there's a chance there might be no mutants, and then you see Captain Marvel show up, it feels very pushed by the MCU. Like they're like, oh, here are movie characters, the one you want to see. It feels kind of. I don't like that feeling of it. It's very.
You have to think of the licensing as well because who is it? Fox bought the
Yeah.
licensing.
Yeah,
for
Fox
it.
has.
So the issue is that the mutants are completely separate from, especially in the comic book universe. You don't see them anywhere except for, of course, Deadpool. We're not going to get into Deadpool, but
Ryan Reynolds.
the way they separated it makes it whereas they don't coexist. So it kind of sucks, especially when it comes to the games.
Right.
Yeah.
So like when you think of Injustice is an awesome game,
Right.
Because it encompasses the entire DC universe, both good and bad.
Right.
But when you get to the Marvel comic universe, it's so splintered. So therefore, like I used to like playing this Colossus, Cyclops, or Iceman because it's like the type of characters that they were.
Yeah.
And then they take them out the game. So I'm like, okay, the people I really like playing with, I don't really like playing with.
Yeah.
Because
Like Ant-Man now.
Ant-Man does nothing for me.
See, that's the problem. Like, I get why they do, but yeah, we throw Ant-Man in. I mean, Ant-Man's cool enough on his own, but he's only in there because he has a movie and he was in Captain America. Like, it doesn't feel organic. And like you were saying, I remember I used to play quite a bit on Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I'd run like Cable, Jen, and Spider-Man. Just those, Gambit. These characters that used to that are just.
And here's the screwed up part about
Cable.
that. So you have members of the Avengers that are also X-Men, but they're not in any of the games or movies, but they are considered. Especially if you read the comic books. When you read the comic books, you think of the entire universe, not just a single part of it.
Right.
And since they don't mesh them all together, it makes it difficult to transfer that over to games. Especially when if you have fans who are big fans of the X-Men, because it's been probably one of the more popular, especially in the 80s, 90s, and all the way up to today, was more popular than anything else, even as far as Captain America or the Avengers or anything like that. It just tended to be more popular, even before the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So when you take all that in consideration, you see the game come out, you get excited, like, wait a minute, none of the characters that I want. You have a lot of people who were turned off by it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think back to their first game before it was Versus, it was X-Men: Children of the Atom, and it was made by Capcom. Nothing but X-Men characters. That's them not being in any of the games, it
seems so weird to be like that.
When I think back to the first X-Men game I played, besides the one that sucked on Nintendo, it was one on Genesis. The Clone Wars.
Oh yeah,
it was so awesome.
I remember that one. Yes,
that game was a good game. It was one game I went and got the emulator for it. It was that fun. I would sit at work and play it on the emulator. On my, what are you doing? Like, where'd that game come from? I'm like, dude, this is the best game.
Yeah. See, I probably had some characters off of that game in Mugen. Hello. Yeah, boy. Nightmare Broly. But anyway,
so what do you all think the Infinite, I mean, we can kind of get a sense of it. What do you think when they call it Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? What do you think it means? It's
Infinity Stones.
Just, okay, you think it's referred to, because I was wondering, is that what, I was wondering if it meant they're treating it more like a platform. Sort of like Street Fighter V, where they're going to rotate more characters in and kind of, as opposed to
it's a plug for the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is they're taking that part of the Marvel universe and dropping it into a game.
Okay.
They do have the Infinity Stones, like the old Marvel vs. Capcom 1, where they had them. But I do understand what you're saying, like just how Street Fighter is. Since it is Capcom, they're trying to have Street Fighter 5 go to 2020 before they have anything new come out.
Right.
So is that what you're getting to?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is that when they say Infinite, that there's no Marvel vs. Capcom 5. This is just it, and then they're just going to iterate on it for at least as long as they can.
Yeah. And one thing I think the community would like it, because if you go back to Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it really only got 2 years, and then they stopped developing for it. They stopped updating it. There's broken characters that they won't get fixed now because they stopped working on it because Disney or Capcom lost the licensing during it.
Right.
With this one, they can always keep balancing it and adding new characters. So it sucks because it may not have X-Men, but it also the longevity of it will be longer than the last two Marvel's Capcoms.
And the way if it works out properly, if Fox actually gets rid of the licensing for, or if Disney buys it back, then they can actually add them back at some point, possibly.
Which would be good. And I guess it takes care of that joke everyone makes about Capcom and their like Hyper EX Alpha editions of games that come out. If it's just one flat game and you just, I guess that would be dope.
Yeah. I think people will buy it. Hyper EX Alpha.
I mean,
what do y'all think? Don't forget the Infinity.
What do y'all think about what do y'all think about the way like Killer Instinct did it? 'Cause, you know, Killer Instinct did Seasons. Do you think that would be something that would work?
That's right, because that's free on Xbox.
That was the first one. That was the first one I've seen do it fighting game wise, where there's seasons.
Make it like seasons.
I think fighting game that genre specifically lends itself very well to doing something like that because for the most part, you know, your fighting game, especially your competitive players, all the other trappings aren't really that important. The only difference year to year is fixing characters and fixing balancing issues. So new stages, character designs doesn't really that big of a deal. So as long as you can keep adding balanced characters, take like an Overwatch approach or like a League kind of thing, and you can just
because they can add in Ronin from the Kree.
Yeah,
you know that would make sense, and they can expand on some more of the cosmic players that they got in the Marvel universe.
I want to see Black Panther. Like I'll be
that's
gonna be in there.
Cage.
I told you.
Yeah.
Oh, you gonna do that?
Luke Cage.
they gotta put him in.
You gonna do that?
They can put in Black Bolt.
That'd
They
be
can
sick.
use the
So
Inhumans.
they're just going to put everybody that has black in their name. In there.
Yeah, they're gonna put everybody in there besides nigga.
The black DLC.
Right.
The Black Lives Matter edition.
Yep.
I hope I'm not misremembering, but Capcom's Bayonetta's Capcom, isn't?
No, that's Platinum.
That's Platinum. That's right. That's right. So I was wondering if that would interfere with their work with Smash Brothers. Because I'm wondering that's why they go with Mega Man X versus Mega Man, because Mega Man's in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, they I mean, especially, and I don't know how they're doing. I mean, Bayonetta is like always like a co-ownership type deal, especially like what they did with Bayonetta 2.
Yeah,
and Nintendo had pretty much made it to where that's their game.
Right,
like that game, just like Titanfall was for Xbox.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's going to be continued with Nintendo, but that's definitely Platinum. But Platinum operates differently than like your other major players. So.
Well, outside of Marvel, I know we were talking about the characters they can add. What about Capcom characters? Like they have a lot of old franchise that they could put in there too. I mean,
they can get some rival schools in there.
There you go.
They can get some Dark Stalkers up in there.
Plasma Blade.
It's going to be a DLC. Old school DLC.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
Actually, that would actually be really cool if they did that.
Yeah, because I mean, you have people who would buy it. It's not meant for everybody, but
right?
Make it $5, and you get these old characters that they used to have.
It could be the DLC, or they could just incorporate it how they're trying to. I think what the market is trying to do is shy away from the DLC concept, and they've been going into the seasonal passes, so they'll have just like what they did.
Money.
Yeah.
Well, and also just for particularly with first-person shooters and fighting games specifically, they lend themselves to esports, which is where a lot of that really works very well, and having kind of that rotational, and then you have that that continuous money that way, as opposed to just a straight up DLC pack.
Mm-hmm. Right. I don't know, man. I don't. I mean, I'm more than likely going to get it. I'm more than likely going to get my ass beat by anybody who plays it. I mean, this guy Benny, this guy's amazing on Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard. Actually, they are bringing the third one back to PlayStation 4 and
didn't they come out today?
I think PS4 is already out, isn't it?
So, going back to what I said about them updating it, maybe now that it's back on for sale, maybe
that's true.
Because when Capcom lost the license, they took away all the other. They had Marvel's Capcom 2, the original Marvel Origins. They took all those off the store, so you couldn't buy them no more. So.
And that was very smart on their part. I'm really happy they did something smart for a change. I'm just looking. That sounded mean. No, that sounded real mean, guys. No, I'm not mean. I'm not that mean. I mean, I'm still waiting for Capcom to finish up that daggone that free to play game they're supposed to have on PlayStation, like Deep End or something like that. Deep End.
Oh, I haven't heard anything about that.
Nothing.
In a while.
Nothing.
Sweet.
It looks
That's all
good.
I remember.
Nothing. I think it's Deep End. It's something to that effect. I sound like an idiot. All right. That takes us to our comic book portion, really. So, going into leaving Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, going into our comic book section, where are the mutants? Why Why are we getting rid of them?
Because apparently they're
like Omar said,
Cyclops is Hitler for getting rid of that Terrigen Mist cloud.
Yep.
Well, there you have it, and that concludes our
We're on the X-Men.
X-Men is done. It's truly an apocalypse.
That's upsetting. It really is.
Yeah. No, I think Omar's exactly right, because if you look at it, Fantastic Four, they're split up. They're not really there, and it isn't forced in.
But who's at the funeral? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's Marvel's first family. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's their first, and they had, they've had good runs in the past.
Oh, they've had.
It's just the fact that Marvel can't profit out of them. They can't get you to go see the movie with those comics. So they're now rebuilding the multiverse or whatever it is Reed and Sue are doing with their kids.
I like Sue Storm though. She's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on.
He was thinking that 90s outfit. The 4 cut out.
Come on, guys.
No, it was just a 4.
All right. I mean, Johnny Storm, he was, thing. Like,
but
what the hell is he
you
fighting?
saw they moved Johnny to the Inhumans and then put the Thing in space with the Guardians of the Galaxy for whatever reason, because they can't use Fantastic Four. But you know what? You can see the Inhumans when they come out and you can see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So you have no problem trying to pump that up.
That's true. Yeah. That is very true.
But Fantastic Four got a better, I guess you could say, send off than X-Men is. Cause, like you said, you have, Guardians of the Galaxy and Johnny with Inhumans, and then Sue and all them up there making multiverses, whatever they're doing. But then X-Men, everyone's dying. They're killing off everybody.
Did they kill Jubilee?
I don't know. I know that Terrigen Mist, though.
They kill everyone, but they always bring them back. The Marvel Universe is one place where you can kill them, and they really don't really. Certain characters never come back. Uncle Ben never comes back.
He better not.
Gwen Stacy,
he's back.
She's back now.
There's this clone conspiracy
on that
thing,
orange box at your local Kroger or Giant Eagle.
Wow.
He's back.
Thank you for that. He was so serious about it too.
I'm being Kroger, like, who is this?
So wait a minute, why is Peter black? White? What is going on?
There's 2. Well, no, because Peter's black, and I think it's Miles Morales.
Miles Morales. That
So
must be
he's
his
not
Uncle
Peter.
Ben.
No, his Uncle Ben would be who? Black Panther.
That would be nice. That means his grandfather, Uncle
T'Challa.
Is it T'Challa?
T'Challa. Yeah, I think it's hard T.
T'Challa.
Looking out.
Like you eating a hot chip.
I'm excited. I'm excited about the possibilities of what Marvel can do. I remember when they used to have this conversation about DC and how they couldn't, a lot of their stuff and their intellectual properties couldn't translate to TV and movie and stuff. But it seems like Marvel's having a hard time trying to get people to shift away from the mutant aspect of Marvel. And a lot of people got brought into Marvel because.
Well, as I said, that's why. I mean, how many people, their first exposure to Marvel was the X-Men's cartoon back in the 90s.
The one that was good.
Yeah, like it was just like that hype theme song, and that's you now associate. Now you associate that with Marvel, and it's
like that.
Not just that, the arcade game. Too.
Yeah, we were just talking about
business.
Yeah,
I like that. I think I'm gonna come out on stage next time with the X-Men.
Can't go wrong with that.
Nah, man, everybody be sitting there going through memory lane like, oh, I remember when this. Man,
and nobody's thinking about Medusa when that happens.
Major chart
there's no Inhumans memory lane. We don't.
Yeah.
I mean, they're cool Inhumans, but we don't care about the Inhumans.
No, I didn't care to see them in the Fantastic Four cartoon. I don't know if they was in Iron Man or not.
They had a cartoon.
Yeah, man. Oh, come on.
Some bad memories came.
You remember the Iron Man cartoon?
I remember.
Which one?
Like, hey!
All hardcore the second season.
No, sorry.
Huh?
No.
And that mullet.
We're gonna need your black card. Because that did not come on regular air TV.
It came on the Who 53 with a lot of snow.
And
for a little bit.
2 seasons.
Snow
The fact that you watched it.
Remember, what was it? Uncle Phil was the voice of Rhodey.
Huh?
Uncle Phil was the voice of Rhodey.
Really?
War Machine, yeah.
Didn't know that.
At least in the first season.
You get fun facts here at the ramen room.
When they cameoed on Spider-Man, that was a voice. I know that much.
More fun facts. I love it. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, even like you said, a cartoon show. I feel the X-Men movies kind of like what bailed Marvel out when they was going bankrupt in the 90s.
They sold those rights.
Well, I mean, just the Marvel movie though, X-Men movie was
residual. I mean, it still was it still was fine.
Yeah, being able to sell the property helped, and then just in general
once Disney got it, it was a wrap.
But it kind of started the whole movie, like superhero movies that was done right. Because before X-Men, what was there?
Before X-Men?
I mean, we had Superman, we had, Superman.
Yeah, Batman, bro.
But we had the tail end of the Batman.
Yeah, we had George Clooney Batman.
Which Batman?
That was your Batman, too. Yeah. That was the Batman. Was yours.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, it was tail end of Batman, Blade kind of brought it back to the forefront again, and then X-Men took it up to another level because people loved the first X-Men movie, and X-Men 2, that's still to me one of the best comic book movies come out. And then we had Spider-Man.
Which one? You talking about 1?
X-Men 2.
Okay, 2 was dope.
Yeah, 2 was good. One
you can keep 1.
Yeah, 1. See, the problem 1 doesn't hold up.
No, actually no. I'll take 1 and 2. Or 2 and 1.
No.
You take 3. You take 3.
He said you're first class. I like First Class. It's X-Men 3 though.
Yeah.
That
Last Stands.
The Last Stand. I remember I was so excited.
It was the movie that spoke to you.
And I knew it. I saw that Sentinel head and I was like, oh, finally. And then
Sentinels, and that was it.
And then you just saw Colossus throw.
Because was it Last Stand or was it the second one? I think where he had Colossus in there. Yeah, he was like, "Hey Xavier, do you need any help?" He's like, "I'm good." He's like, "Okay," and that was the end of his scene.
The cool Colossus,
yeah.
Listen, the cool Colossus was a second because when Stryker came to the school and they were just wrecking shop, and this dude just steps out, and just metal, wolves bounce on him, the entire theater just cheered. And
that was it.
That was it. That's all we needed from Colossus.
Yep. And then you had Iceman who made the whole school cold, and then I guess he got hit in the mouth, and that ended that whole. I'm like, what? Why? Why has he got a glass jaw?
It's made of ice.
That's a good point.
It's made of ice.
Come on now. You knew that was coming.
Oh, yeah, that was a clean break. I don't know what they're going to do without the mutants, though.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they have this Inhuman show they're trying to push, and that's obviously what they're trying to do with in the comics. I don't honestly see it working that well. I think the sooner Marvel probably realize. I mean, they're kind of stuck because they're trying to synergize movies and comics. I don't know when or if they will back down from this stance, but I don't think it'll be that successful.
There'll be some more Doctor Strange.
I wonder if it's Marvel or like Disney that's doing it.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's really one party you can blame because
it's the front office at Disney.
So when you think about it, Disney's like, well, how can we get the most value out of this product? The most value out of this product is synchronize the comic books and the movies hand in hand.
Right.
But the thing is, if you have a certain comic book that you can't push a movie for, it's almost impossible because whatever movie they make, you can't tie a comic book to because that comic book's going to suck.
Because at least from what I understand, and it's I think it's just almost common sense. The movies are really the money maker. Comics don't really make them as much money anymore.
No,
there's a much lower ceiling to how much money they can get from people for buying comics, how many comics they can sell versus movies.
They do the EA approach. They do subscriptions. You get all the comics you want, but you just have to pay a flat fee.
I wish they would do that, honestly. They do. They have Marvel Unlimited, but I wish it was up to date. I could read current, and I wish DC had that legit because I have more back issues of DC that I would like to read than I do Marvel. But that's beside the point. Anyway, I think having that kind of that flat fee as opposed to trying to get trade, or getting in trades versus trying to get individual papers, means movie is kind of leading it. And from what I heard, I think there is a bit of a division split as far as the movies and comics go, and that the movie guys, they try to keep them a bit separate as far as editorial control.
Like the thing when they announced Age of Apocalypse, that was by far my favorite arc in the X-Men, by far. And when they announced it, I'm like, are they going to do it right? Are they going to really do it the way that the comic book is? Because it's literally 4 issues that summer. That's when I really got into comic books that summer. So when I was like, all right, this is about to be like the comic book. When I saw it, I'm like, this is bullshit. I was like, why is he still alive? He shouldn't be alive. But the fact that they tied it to the X-Men First Class reboot, as opposed to the original one,
that was smart.
It made more sense.
Yeah.
And the thing that really threw me off was that when they did Days of Future Past, and they had both Charles Xavier's in it, I'm like,
Yeah, they basically did the Future Past. They basically just retconned out Last Stand, like we were just making fun of. Basically, they were just like, that didn't, which is a smart thing to do because it
basically destroy everything and then you can bring both characters from both lines over. Like Wolverine, perfect example. One person they didn't have to recast. He played himself through all of the movies.
Yeah, so, it's gonna be weird after they get done with Logan because he's gonna be pretty much gone at that point.
It.
A lot of people, as we were saying before, a lot of people think that they'll just replace him with X-23.
Yeah, she has replaced him. She's the new Wolverine,
and they'll just do it in the movies as well. I honestly think Marvel and Fox really are better off if they just work together and bring the mutants. They don't even need to make new X-Men movies. Just bring over certain mutants.
No, they need to do the same thing Sony did. Let them get whatever movie they're going to do together, because you have members of the X-Men who are also Avengers,
right?
So therefore, you get those however many characters because Logan is an X-Man.
Yeah,
Beast is an X-Man.
Yeah,
so, but they're also Avengers.
Right.
So when you think about that, that would be a good fit because you have Beast and you have Logan, who are two of the more popular characters, especially when it comes to the Marvel universe. When you think about all those characters that would transfer over nicely, it's a good moneymaker.
Yeah.
And then you can have them in all the other movies as well. Fox will still make money.
Yeah. That's what helps Sony, because Sony they can still make their own Spider-Man movie. They're still going to. They have an animated movie,
and then they can still tie into the Marvel.
And that's what helped get Sony their Sucker Punch, their game on PlayStation 4, helped get it as an exclusive. Sony got the video game rights as part of that deal. But Fox let them get video game rights. Let them, make that trade-off, get movie money, some part of the movie money, and then do more with a license.
It makes perfect sense, like for Spider-Man, because unlike any other character that's in Marvel, Spider-Man is like Stan Lee's baby. Like, that's his character. Like, he has like a heart. I felt like I deal with Spider-Man. So to fight to try to go get him or bring him into the fold, I can see him wanting to do that before he's gone.
Well, and just call a spade a spade. Spider-Man is still Marvel's probably their most marketable character.
Captain America.
Captain America's come up there now, but I gotta imagine Spider-Man's merchandise pushes out, especially. Yeah. And certainly now when they did the deal, Captain America is way up there. But if Marvel had a chance to either start their MCU with Spider-Man or Captain America, they would have taken Spider-Man hands down.
Who did they start with?
They started with Iron Man, but as far as they didn't have access to the characters, if they could trade Iron Man for Spider-Man, I'm sure they would have traded.
Iron Man's really the one who got us started with the MCU as far as the current version, because they had Blade and everything.
Yeah, but that wasn't really MCU. Yeah, because Blade was Fox too, if I remember correctly.
No, Blade was.
That's right. New Line.
The Iron Man was the first one to start the real comic book movie.
Yeah. And then they. But see, that's the thing too with when it comes. I think it's a front office deal. It has to be. Like, there's no value in getting the mutants. You're better off like saving money instead of trying to get money to get the mutants into the
selling
MCU.
it while it's high. Because part of Sony's problem was they had those leaks and they had so many blunders with Amazing Spider-Man that they got a good deal out of it. But
it's an amazing deal.
They copied Wolverine Elite with none of the special effects.
But bargain while they still have a bargaining chip, while they still can bargain from a position of, hey, we still have this property that you probably want more than we want, as opposed to running the franchise into the ground and nobody's saying X-Men movies anymore, and you kind of have to give it away almost just to retain something.
That's what Disney's probably trying to do.
Yeah,
they don't want to pay another arm.
Oh yeah, they want to help push that.
They already spent their money on Star Wars and Marvel anyway, so it's like, all right,
Star Wars is a perennial money maker. You will never not make money on Star
Wars. And so with Marvel, but they can just say we're going to do a movie with Beast Boy. Wait a minute, that's DC.
I think I heard there was a rumor at one point about Disney trying to acquire. And if it wasn't WB themselves, it was trying to get DC too in their fold. This was a while ago.
Well, AT&T might buy them out.
Yeah. AT&T, what aren't they buying?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They got a lot of money. I tell you what, though, it's probably about that time. How we running?
We're about 53 minutes.
What?
I told you.
It's good, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's wrap this thing up, guys. Anybody out there who has any thought on what they would like to see out of the Marvel and Disney? Do you think they should bring in mutants? Do you think they should get rid of mutants? Do you think they should bring them into the MCU? Let us know. Hit us up at theramenroom@gmail.com. Again, it's theramenroom@gmail.com. Also, I want to give Benny and Omar the floor here before we end it. what can we expect with the technology piece? Whenever you decide, whenever you believe it to be ready, what can we expect to talk about?
New toys, new gadgets, things you want. See how they work, all that good stuff.
Cool.
I get lots of toys, so I like to play with them.
Okay. So like phones, routers,
A little bit of everything.
fill up you lights.
Leave me and my lights out. Them lights is the business. I walk in the house and my lights turn on.
That's solid.
So you got jokes.
No.
You got jokes. So my friend, when she comes over, I'm like, yo, Siri, hit that red light special. Music come on, when lights go that red.
You
Like,
said
yo.
Siri. You said Siri. You said Siri. Now, if you'd have been saying, "Hey Google," you would have been sitting there all day. Hey Google, Google. Hey Google.
It works beautifully.
Great. That's gonna be fun.
Phone, iPads, even the MacBook, it works beautifully.
I think the technology piece is gonna be fun. We'll work that thing out. We'll make it gorgeous. Basically, what we're saying, guys, is we're going to add technology to it. We're also thinking about, like we said before, with the TV shows. What are you watching? That'll be amazing. So we're going to expand this thing all for you guys. We're still going to keep it at an hour. You know, maybe.
I think we can get it to an hour. We can do that.
Randall, you the man. Thank you. Thank you for just keeping us on time. Benny, what can we expect on the page for the Facebook page on anime?
Well, there's a lot of new animes coming out. Winter's coming next month, so there's a few series that's going to be starting. One coming to America, I don't know if y'all heard, is the Dragon Ball Z, the American dub. So they got like the original cast coming. And I'm not a fan of dub, but I will say Dragon Ball is definitely one of those.
There's a problem with dubs here.
I like sub.
Yeah, man, this is a sub community here, but I mean for those.
But Dragon Ball's an exception. I do like Dragon Ball's English dub. You know, same with like Cowboy Bebop.
Vegeta.
There are no dubs.
Goku's voice in Japanese is too high for me. Like I went from
Goku's voice in
ain't got no basis.
Trash.
Goku.
You don't like? There's no dubs you like. There are no dubs you.
I don't like any Naruto dubs.
No,
I like Ghost in the Shell dubs.
Ghost in the Shell dubs are alright.
Cowboy Bebop.
But it's what, like 20 years old?
Yep. That's what you know how long. Yep. Just about it.
they don't do the voice actors justice especially when you're used to the dubs as opposed to the subs. They don't do it right.
Yeah. It's hard to switch. And actually, I did the My Hero Academia. They have a English dub out, and I listened to some of it. And it actually was not that bad. It had a lot of the cast from Full Metal Alchemist in there, and a Full Metal Alchemist dub.
They have a good dub.
Yeah.
Wait, so have they done a dub for One Punch Man or not yet?
I've seen it on Toonami. But
I think there is one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but
when is season 2 coming?
It comes out April 2017, so it's coming. It's been not as long as Attack on Titan season 2. That one.
What's your thoughts on on Dragon Ball Z Super? How you feel about that?
Wait, where's episode 69?
It ain't come out yet. I didn't even look. Is that okay?
The one with Arlen?
It's not worth watching.
Is that?
No, I think I saw it. The one with the Arlen.
Well, yeah. It's pure filler. Not to take your spot, but yeah, it's pure filler. I mean, that's kind of where we're at in the series right now, anyway, in between arcs. But like, that one was
Pure filler.
Goofy.
I didn't like the way that one ended at all.
What, with Black?
Yes, I didn't like the way that. I didn't like the way that ended.
Yeah.
Spirit Bomb Sword Edition.
It was anticlimactic.
It was. I was glad
butt kicked, and all of a sudden he just comes with a sword. Like, yes,
that was the weird thing. That was very. And you were kind of talking about this earlier, Benny, and before we get into it too much, but it was very un-Dragon Ball Z like. It was kind of beat up. Okay, then they won. Like, it was kind of weird that they kind of just ended. I was glad to see Trunks get his shine, but.
Yeah,
Super Saiyan power has no limits, apparently.
The power levels really don't mean anything. Like, they had a Super Saiyan Vegeta that couldn't do anything, but Trunks cut him in half. So with a Spirit Bomb sword.
Well, he was like a.
If I seen him do the sword before, I like the idea of like sword taking power. And I thought that was really sweet, but you never seen him do it up until this point. So I'm just kind of like, all right.
Real quick, I did like in this most recent episode though. I did like Beerus, just his one moment when he got rid of that ghost. Because anytime Beerus like goes serious, full God of Destruction mode, it's pretty sick. He was just. Didn't even look at him, pointed, disintegrated.
Yeah, when he killed Zombies.
Yeah, that was sick.
Killed him right on the spot. So
that's shouts out to Beerus, man.
and Whis, don't forget Whis.
Good old Whis training guards. Okay, that's what's up. So all right, so we'll see you on the page, and you're more than welcome to come anytime you like on the podcast. I mean, hey. your family here, and this is a good thing.
We in here.
And this is the Romper Room, guys. You're going to hear a lot from us, man. This is a movement. I don't know what else to say, man. Only, you going to take us out, Randall?
Nah, I didn't have anything.
That's just about right. Just
I got nothing.
Omar, you want to take us out?
Thanks, everyone. Look to hear from you guys soon. Have a good one.
Peace.
Later.
Peace.